Welcome in for a look at the radar. Big storms to talk about. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal on this Thursday morning. Dr. Doug Gillum joins me to talk about two systems. Of course, the west, we have Cheryl Plouffe standing by. We also have a live look at traffic. Let's just go to the roads really quickly and show you what it looks like out there. Doug, wow, we know what just a few centimeters can do to the GTA roads up here at the end of the day here.
Well, the storm is weakening, but we see just an incredible plume of moisture stretching from the Gulf Stream back into southern Ontario. The snow has been progressing from east to west through the night. Now that band has become pretty much stationary from near the Quebec through North Bay, south of Georgian Bay, and all the way into Niagara.
And it's kind of interesting to me because I woke up, I live in Ancaster, Ontario, and I had no snow at 5 this morning. But yet just to the east, we had this intense band really kind of coming down from the north.
Right, and during the morning commute, we've seen snowfall rates of 1 to even 3 centimeters per hour, where you see the darkest blues, places like Markham, 9 centimeters in 3 hours, and already seeing reports of up to near 15 centimeters south of Georgian Bay. And this band extends about back to London, but it's going to remain fairly stationary now as we go through the afternoon.
There's another tighter zoom in here, so you can see Hamilton seeing some heavy snow with that darker blue color, and really Toronto's been getting hit probably the hardest, in terms of the GTA, right in the core and through to Oakville. Here's some of those totals, very impressive, 30 centimeters. I'm going to give you a high five on that because I think we nailed that forecast. So good job on that. We're going to be back with much more. I want to just show you really quickly here the snow amounts that we still could expect, 10 to 15 centimeters. How much of that has already fallen?
Well, about half of it. Storm totals will be approaching 20 centimeters in parts of the GTA and over 30 centimeters south of Georgian Bay.
All right, we have watches and warnings, snowfall warnings continuing. Let's throw it to Cheryl Plouffe with the rest of the story. Big story to talk about out west. Cheryl? Thanks a lot, Doug. Doing a great job reporting on that story. That seawall yesterday, that was some pretty big news. And winds calming down, as you mentioned. Still more rainfall on the way. Still more snowfall on the way. Dr. Doug, let's talk about it.
Another poorly timed round of snow for the GTA. Really picked up in intensity right before and during the morning commute. Some places saw 9 centimeters of snow in just 3 hours. So impressive snowfall rates from this band stretching from near North Bay, south of Georgian Bay, and into Niagara.
9 centimeters in 3 hours, so that's 3 centimeters per hour. And, we see a lot of that kind of snowfall rate, like the heavy snowfall rates, when we get snowfall in squalls.
Right.
But not so much maybe with system-generated snow. When was the last time we saw this amount of snow through GTA?
Well, probably a couple times last winter, but didn't persist that long. And we are getting some enhancement off of Georgian Bay.
I see.
We have a lot of convergence in the atmosphere. This band that moved from east to west through the night has pretty much come to a standstill, and so it's going to continue to snow in the same regions, not nearly as heavy as what we saw earlier. Will continue to snow in these regions well through the afternoon, winding down as we go into early evening.
All right, let's get you in front of the radar here. If you're making your way up through Orangeville and north, some heavy bands in the darker blue. Still along the 401 and the 403, there's going to be some major snow, slow spots due to snow. And then, as Doug was mentioning, some hefty amounts still on the way for eastern side of Georgian Bay, 15 to 25.
Right. When storm totals south of Georgian Bay, a few spots will exceed 30 centimeters. Great news for skiers. Yeah,
that is great news. That's right. Big, warm up out west, and we've got the snow out here. Okay, we'll be back with much more Storm Watch coverage. It continues. Lots to get to. Welcome in for a live look at the radar. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal. On this Thursday, 2 storms, but the bigger one now has become that nor'easter. Remember yesterday when I was saying, wow, the west coast is really a defined area of low pressure, lots of moisture. Well, now that's sort of pushing east, and we are going to see some freezing rain that's going to set up along a warm front through northern parts of Alberta. We're talking about a little bit of snow. Cheryl Plouffe will have details on your west forecast. Let's take you now to the east coast story. It's all about this nor'easter. Kind of an interesting shape, right? A lot of dry air mixing in through this region here where you see the lack of cloud tops. But where you see a lot of cloud and a lot of snow is on the roads, but also right through the 401. Really, going to be slow. Give yourself lots of extra time. Tom Reynolds will have a look at your traffic. That's coming up as well. So let's get into the radar. We also have Michelle Mackey, who's going to join us from, I think it's King Road and the 400 momentarily. I can't imagine what it's like up there. General 1 to 3 centimeters per hour widespread with this snow kind of coming in from this northerly direction. Cold out there, too. But by the weekend, Dr. Doug has some great news for us. All right, let's take a look here. We do have some heavy bands up toward the north. And maybe we'll just take that one full screen if we could, and people can get an idea of the highways. Can we take that graphic full screen? Thank you to my producers. Look at that. The highways really starting to get, a lot of heavy bands up through Orange. Highway 9. You talked about it days in advance, that heaviest band coming down along the St. Lawrence, around the townships in Montreal.
But it does look like we're going to overachieve a little bit in the GTA now with that band becoming nearly stationary. So a fairly well forecast storm days in advance, but now the details. Everyone wants to know how much snow will be in their backyard by the end of the day.
You bet. Do we have Michelle live for us? Okay, Michelle, really great to see you this morning. You look like you're in a winter wonderland. What's the latest in Vaughan, Ontario?